excited. I'm excited to see the keynote speaker, and I've never been to one of these before, so I'm really excited to see what it is.
I'm Sydney Lowe. I'm one of the 2009 scholarship recipients. I go to Colgate University, and I'm really excited to be back here. And yeah, it's such a great opportunity and such a great organization.
I actually got a bachelor's in science, so it's a career change. So I'm really happy to be here. I am actually currently working at a intern in New York for a radio station, so I felt like this is where it showed me the light in my career right now.
I've never been the kind of the one to be weak, or the girl that's so quiet, just afraid you speak.
I hope that the students get a perspective of how to get their first job, their foot in the door, what it takes to succeed in the communications business, and most importantly, the wide range of communications careers that there are available today. Because students may think they want to be in broadcast journalism, and then they find out about all the unlimited opportunities in online media. Students may think they want advertising until they learn how great public relations is. So it's really an opportunity for them to learn about the vast range of possibilities that await them.
I'm really excited to be here and learn from some of the top leaders in communication, and it's a really great opportunity.
I hope that the students will take away a lot of enthusiasm for their future, because even though we hear so much about being in this recession, these young people have wonderful opportunities ahead. So that's the major thing.
New York Women in Communications and its foundation, which hosts the conference, really feel a very strong tie to the next generation. And many of us, myself included, say, I wish there had been something like this when I was starting out. But you know what? There is something like this. It's New York Women in Communications, and we really are dedicated to giving a jump start to the next generation of communications professionals. It's important to us. Why? It's not so much that we feel that we have an obligation to do it, it's we have the desire to do it. We really are passionate about our careers, and we want to share that with the next group coming along.
It's the only way that I ever learned how to behave. So it's too bad if you're threatened by me. Shout out to those who understand my story. It's a game you wanna mess around. The ones that try to get them and knock me down.
Please join me in welcoming the fabulous Sara Haines.
Thank you very much. It's always nicer to hear someone else describe you. It sounds a little shinier. Well, you'd think with morning television I would be used to being up at this hour, but I've got the first part covered. I'm out of bed, but I'm not quite ready for full sentences, so please forgive me just to get started. And I'm here not because you may know my name or because I have a list of work that you may have seen, but because I took a road less traveled. I've learned there's a reason why it was less traveled, for one, and two, I wouldn't recommend the exact path I took, but along the way, if you keep your eyes open, there are nuggets of learning all the way through. So if nothing less, my wide circle around and back might give you something that you can take with you as you head into your own journey. I love the choices I had made, but I promised myself when I graduated that I would finally do something I wanted to do. Because at this point, there was no formula. After you graduate, there's no next step, summer, semester, abroad, graduate. No one can tell you what's coming next. So don't hold on to something so tightly that you stop looking around you and growing. Because as you grow, your dreams will grow and the vision should change if you're listening. So remember to do that. And although networking and getting ahead, those are all brilliant ideas. But when your work speaks for you, don't interrupt. I had my fair share of days where I cried and thought, this can't be my life. But it's realizing that it has to be about the journey. No one promises you any destinations. So if you're not enjoying your day-to-day job and not looking at the next step constantly, you're missing it. And it's not a happy place to be. So I would say that even when you're in a job that's a building block to the next one, appreciate what it offers you, the people that are around you. One thing you forget when you're in great places is you look around and they're all your chummy friends, the ones you take coffee breaks with, and then you look and you say, oh my gosh, you're one of the best directors in the business. Like, you have to stop and recognize the amazing talent pool you're in, wherever you are. There's a reason people hold the jobs around you.
On my mind, and I do it all the time. You think that I should know better than to let my feelings go, but it's my way. So that we should all learn to take Joan's way and be afraid to stand up straight. You got it wrong. The shadows never meant.
You have to just regard yourself as a professional and use your common sense. My first job was in Huntsville, Alabama, and after I drove to up the mountain and knocked on the door of the trailer, the news director was in his office and he was drunk. And he told me to leave my car on the top of the mountain and we would go to dinner. And he drove down that mountain. And throughout the dinner, he we had steak and baked potatoes and sour cream, and he kept wiping his mouth, the sour cream off his lips, with his tie.
So be very careful about that, because there are a lot of people who think they're so beautiful, so hot. I should totally be on television. Okay, but not necessarily on the news. And some of these men, look, my voice is so fantastic, but you're terrible at what you do. So just try not to believe your own hype. If you think you're very good looking, if your grandmother tells you how gorgeous you are, if cousin Bill tells you you are so fantastic, try not to believe your own hype, because that's the first way to kill yourself. But look at that. They can find somebody who looks just like you to do it.
There's more than enough opportunity for everyone. So if you start to go after things with the thought that I gotta watch out for this chick and this chick's gonna get at me, you're never gonna succeed. You really have to be focused on you and know that what's for you is for you.
Treat your, friends, coworkers with respect, and they'll treat you in the same way, and down the road they really help you out.
The tricks that you throw in the mix. Don't try to work your way around me, there ain't nothing I miss. People talk, yeah, I know what they say. They keep repeating like that in replay. Cause apparently it's still not allowed for somebody like me to step out of the crowd. All I can say is that times have changed, but the problems remain. It's our world's a shame. I say what's on my mind, and I do it all the time.
I have found a position that it's really intriguing to me at Team People. And also I had sort of gone after this position, and the woman I spoke to said, well, we're pretty close to hiring somebody, and I said, well, it really, would be great if I could just meet you. She said, oh, well, we're, doing a mall tour, which is, about an hour outside of the city, and, I said, okay, I'll meet you there. So literally had an interview in a storage closet, and, again, sent follow-ups and thank you letters, and, months down the road, got that position.
I watch everything on TV, so it's fun at work because I get to watch all of NBC shows all day. And then we look and see what's cool that we should put online. And so we take all those clips and then we send all those out to reporters because that helps drive traffic back to our site. So we do press releases and marketing, all kinds of promotional marketing. So on the Today Show, we have a plaza, so we can do fun events out there. We work with the talent to promote them. And so there's really no typical day, but each day what I typically do is I do all of the promotion and marketing PR for all of the various shows. So Today, Nightly News, Meet the Press, MSNBC.com, and I do it all for the online, and I work closely with the on-air folks to make sure that we're promoting our brands.
You think that I should